Our children are going to need us more now than ever when it comes to the economy they're going to be inheriting. When you look at the national debt, when you look at the emergence of AI in the workplace, when you look at inflation, when you look at the cost of goods and services, the cost of real estate, when you look at the economy that our kids will be inheriting in the next 5, 10, and 15 years, to the best of your ability, it's hard to find optimism in the sense of emerging in this economy. Now, for us as adults, the economy we're going into, I just shot a video about, I think is exciting because we're established in a lot of ways. We can act and make a difference financially much faster than our kids who are going to be trying to adapt in this world as a whole, as well as get a grip on their finances as early as possible. They're going to need us more than ever. You can't provide that level of stability and foundation for your children if you don't have a strong financial base yourself. The most important thing that you can do to position your children in this economy, number one, is going to be being in proper position yourself. You don't have to be a millionaire to do this, but you just want to be in a situation where you literally can afford to provide the lifestyle that you're setting for yourself and your family. And you want to be in a position to be able to support your kids as they develop, and any skills they develop and interests that they develop. For instance, my oldest child, my daughter, is into volleyball very heavy. And she's doing travel volleyball right now on a regular basis. And it's extremely expensive. We're talking about easily $10,000 or $12,000 additionally on top of everything else a year. But she's extremely good at it. And she also has very, very good promise to be able to at least go to a collegiate level doing this. So it's an investment in my eyes. Otherwise, she'd be playing park ball for free or some kind of non-travel team. The point I'm making in bringing this up is these are the type of opportunities you're going to have to be in position to support your kids around. Your kids are going to have different interests. It's a different type of economy. You have to be in position to be able to support them in this. My daughter would not be able to be the volleyball player that she is today and where she may be tomorrow if it wasn't for my ability to financially and logistically commit to getting her across the country to play at the level she's playing at. And she can monetize this almost at any point in time. She's already good enough to be able to make videos and create a YouTube channel or online courses on training or physical classes and training for volleyball. She's already that good. She's just in the 9th grade. This is the type of strategy and mindset you have to have. Where's the value going to be in this economy 5, 10, and 15 years from now? And how can you steer and position your children to get in position? Saving up cash for them, maybe even going as far as buying property for them is going to be a really tough gamble, not knowing where the economy is going to be by the time you try to pass that on to them. I'm not saying it's a bad idea and that you shouldn't do that. But you being in financial position as the adult, as the leader, being in a position to pass down credit, whatever credit looks like at that time, to pass down capital, whatever that looks like at the time, to position your children to be a part of your business, having a business to make them a part of in the first place. These are the kind of giving them their first job possibly, or just being able to financially support them when they develop a skill set, when they develop talents and interests that can be monetized that you can see that they can't. My daughter hears me talk about these things, but she doesn't really understand the magnitude of what she's already capable of doing in this economy. And I'm planning on showing her that. I'm already encouraging her to get familiar with, building her own website, video editing, things of this nature, so she can take control of these things herself. I want you to have this in mind for your children. You need to have strong banking relationships that you can tack your children onto. Many of these institutions allow you to add authorized users at a very young age. Some of them don't even have age limits on how young your child can be for authorized users. I believe Chase Bank doesn't have limits on how old your child needs to be to add them as an authorized user. I believe with Amex, maybe it's 13 or something like that. You do your due diligence, but the moral of the story is that you can be building that foundation and putting their name in a positive light in the financial system. So when they get there, it's less resistance for them. I'm not saying that they don't need to go through their own struggle and develop themselves. I'm a firm believer that, they need to cut their teeth as well, but you definitely don't want to set them behind. And establishing strong banking relationships is one of the primary ways. You have to understand, technology in the financial system today is evolving Banks are more and more focusing on in-house data. And I'm going to shoot a whole video about that soon. But this is going to be the opportunity where they're going to be looking at whole households and whole families. So your kids' names are going to be attached to yours. And if you have good, strong financial foundation at an institution, you can pass that to your child and put them in a great position, and also start teaching them monetary skills and money skills and financial habits early in the process. You have to educate them. You're going to have to take control of them for the first generation, maybe second, but really the first generation. Those of us that are maybe, late 20s, 30s, early 40s with kids, younger kids. We're raising kids where we're competing with that dominant influence over them. These kids have access to so much information to steer their thought process. You have to have a very strong, ecosystem in your household to make sure your kids are understanding and following the principles you're laying out and in the direction you're trying to steer them in, because there's so much out there that wasn't there before for our parents to have to deal with. It's not that, we weren't influenced by our peers, but our peers were our neighborhood, our classmates. The whole world is able to influence your child now. So you have to have a strong household, and that starts with you having strong financials yourself. You have to, and I'm building the same thing for myself. I'm practicing what I preach. I'm building an environment where I can demonstrate to my kids what this should look like and what they should be looking for. You have to set that up, and you have to do that through strong banking relationships, having life insurance in place, having the right financials in place, having paperwork in order, being prepared for the worst. And I don't just mean insurance, life insurance alone. I mean, even umbrella and policies. I'm experiencing a situation now where I see the value of an umbrella policy. These are the kind of things that we need to consider, think about, have in mind. Stacking precious metals. Let's talk about it. I mean, the reality of it is the national debt is insane. We know it can't get paid off. And our currency is eroding. We know that. So you don't even know 5 to 10 years from now if it's going to be a digital currency. We don't know what cash is going to be worth. Being able to pass something of tangible intrinsic value to your children, including stuff like precious metals and physical property, is going to be priceless. You want to do this in a way where they understand the value of it. So obviously you want to put an ecosystem in place, principles, values, and virtues in place where they can understand the value of what you're giving them. But I'm telling you right now, you have to be leading the charge when it comes to your children in this new economy and this new environment that they're inheriting. And I needed to bring this to you as it came to me pretty naturally this morning, dropping my kid off for her second day of high school. I can tell you right now, it's very important for you to have your financials in order. And the next 6, 12, 15 or so months is a great opportunity and environment to do so economically. There's a ton of opportunity and a lot of money flowing through the United States economy. The Federal Reserve is going to eventually have to take their foot off the gas. You can literally change your life and change the trajectory of your family, and you can fortify the, fortress, the ecosystem that you want to put around your family to make life, safer for them and more secure for them, and to allow them to be able to express themselves and live life on the terms that they envision living it. And you'll be the hero doing that. So please make sure you have strong banking relationships, a good, solid, stable income wherever it's coming from. And if you have to work more and sacrifice that time, so be it for now. Live an uncomfortable life for now so you can set yourself and your family up for a better future tomorrow. That's what most of us are going to have to do. Unless you have some kind of inheritance or money being passed down to you, you're going to have to do the uncomfortable thing. And that may be missing some time with your kids. It may be missing some time with your mate, whatever the case may be. But I promise you, the longer term effects of you making these sacrifices are much better than you trying to satisfy their needs short term in that capacity now and not being able to provide shelter for them or, a higher quality of life, or not being able to support them when they get into certain interests. These things will echo out much further down the line in the future than the few minutes that you can spend now. It doesn't mean not to value your time with them now, because none of us is guaranteed tomorrow. But I wanted to put this on your mind that it's time to cut your teeth and sacrifice right now for the next, year and a half or so, to get ahead of things, to put yourself and your children and your family in a better financial position, and to lead them into a better quality of life. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know where you are with putting your, where you are on this journey. do you have kids? How many kids do you have? What age are they? And what are your plans for them? How do you plan on putting them in position and protecting them? Comment that down below. Let me know the financial strategies. Are they already authorized users? Do you have, youth bank accounts for them? Do you have youth savings? Comment down below and let me know where you are with this. Other than that, I want y'all to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.